Semiconductors are everywhere. They are the tiny brains inside our phones, computers, cars, and even refrigerators. Without these chips, our modern world would grind to a halt. From the moment you wake up to your smartphone alarm to the time you stream a movie at night, semiconductors are working behind the scenes. They power the internet, control traffic lights, and even help doctors diagnose diseases. These chips are marvels of engineering, containing billions of transistors on a surface smaller than a fingernail. They process information at lightning speed, enabling us to communicate, learn, and be entertained like never before. But the production of these tiny chips is a complex and demanding process, requiring cutting-edge technology and massive investments. This is where the story of semiconductors gets really interesting. It's not just about technology, it's about geopolitics, power, and the future of our interconnected world. Buckle up, because we're about to dive into the fascinating world of semiconductors and why they matter now more than ever. In the global race for technological dominance, one small island nation stands tall: Taiwan. At the heart of Taiwan's success is a company called TSMC, or Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. TSMC is not just another chip maker, it's the world leader in producing the most advanced semiconductors, the brains behind the most powerful smartphones, computers, and artificial intelligence systems. What makes TSMC so special? They perfected a business model called Pure Play Foundry. Imagine a high-tech factory that builds chips designed by other companies. That's TSMC in a nutshell. Companies like Apple, Qualcomm, and Nvidia rely on TSMC to manufacture their most sophisticated chips. TSMC's dominance is staggering. They produce over 90% of the world's most advanced processors, making them an indispensable player in the global tech industry. Their success has also made Taiwan a critical link in the global supply chain, but it's a double-edged sword. Taiwan's economic prosperity is now intertwined with the fate of the semiconductor industry, and that has attracted the attention of some powerful players, particularly China. Control over semiconductor production has become a strategic imperative for nations worldwide. Just as oil fueled the engines of the 20th century, semiconductors are the lifeblood of the 21st century economy. They power the technologies that drive innovation, economic growth, and even national security. The United States, despite being a pioneer in semiconductor technology, has seen its share of global chip manufacturing decline over the years. Much of this production shifted to Asia, with Taiwan and South Korea emerging as dominant players. This dependence on foreign chipmakers has raised concerns in Washington and other Western capitals, especially as geopolitical tensions rise. China, the world's second-largest economy, harbors ambitions of becoming a self-reliant technological superpower. Semiconductors are central to this goal, but China faces significant hurdles in catching up to the likes of TSMC. The technology is incredibly complex, requiring specialized knowledge, massive investments, and access to cutting-edge equipment. This global scramble for chip supremacy has created a high-stakes game of chess, with countries vying for technological advantage and seeking to secure their supply chains. The stakes are enormous, and the outcome will have profound implications for the global balance of power in the decades to come. The year 2020 brought a stark reminder of our reliance on complex global supply chains. The COVID-19 pandemic triggered a perfect storm that exposed the vulnerability of the semiconductor industry. As factories shut down and borders closed, the world faced an unprecedented chip shortage. The demand for electronics surged as people worked, learned, and entertained themselves from home. But the supply couldn't keep up. Car manufacturers, unable to secure enough chips, were forced to halt production lines. Consumer electronics became scarce, and prices soared. The pandemic laid bare the risks of concentrating chip production in a handful of countries. It highlighted the need for greater diversification and resilience in global supply chains. For countries like the United States and those in Europe, it served as a wake-up call, prompting a renewed push to boost domestic chip manufacturing. Section 5. The West fights back, building more chips at home. The chip shortage sent shockwaves through the United States and Europe, prompting a flurry of activity to revitalize their domestic semiconductor industries. Governments recognized the strategic importance of semiconductors and the need to reduce their dependence on foreign suppliers. In the United States, the CHIPS and Science Act, signed into law in 2022, allocated billions of dollars to incentivize domestic chip production and research. Companies like Intel, spurred by government support, announced plans to build new fabrication plants on American soil. Europe, too, unveiled its own initiatives to bolster its semiconductor sector. The European Chips Act, launched in 2022, aimed to double Europe's share of global chip production by 2030. The goal was clear: to reduce dependence on Asia and build a more resilient and self-sufficient semiconductor ecosystem. These efforts marked a significant shift in global semiconductor policy. The era of relying solely on Asian manufacturing giants was coming to an end. The West was determined to reclaim its place in the chip-making arena, recognizing that the future of technology and perhaps global power was at stake. Section 6. China's Chip Dream. Big ambitions, big challenges. China, with its vast manufacturing capacity and hunger for technological dominance, has set its sights on becoming a global leader in semiconductors. The goal is clear: to achieve self-sufficiency in chip production by 2025, reducing its reliance on foreign companies. China's government has poured billions of dollars into its domestic chip industry, fostering the growth of companies like SMIC, or Semiconductor Manufacturing International Corporation. However, despite these efforts, China still lags behind Taiwan and South Korea in terms of technological sophistication. Producing cutting-edge chips requires more than just money. It demands expertise, access to specialized equipment, and intellectual property. China has faced challenges in acquiring these critical ingredients, partly due to restrictions imposed by the United States and its allies. Despite the hurdles, China remains determined to climb the semiconductor ladder. The country's vast market, growing technological prowess, and unwavering government support make it a force to be reckoned with in the global chip race. The question is not if, but when, China will achieve its chip ambitions, and what impact that will have on the global balance of power. Section 7. Taiwan in the crossfire. Pelosi's visit and China's fury. Taiwan, the semiconductor powerhouse, sits at the heart of a geopolitical tug-of-war. China views Taiwan as a breakaway province that must be reunited with the mainland by force if necessary. The United States, while officially adhering to a one-China policy, has committed to supporting Taiwan's defense. In August 2022, Nancy Pelosi, then Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, made a highly publicized visit to Taiwan. The trip infuriated Beijing, which responded with unprecedented military drills around Taiwan, simulating a blockade of the island. Pelosi's visit underscored Taiwan's precarious position as a flashpoint in U.S.-China relations. It also highlighted the global economic stakes involved. A conflict in the Taiwan Strait, which separates mainland China from Taiwan, would have devastating consequences for the global economy, disrupting supply chains and sending shockwaves through the technology sector. The Taiwan issue remains a powder keg in international relations, a constant reminder of the geopolitical tensions swirling around the tiny island that plays such an outsized role in the global semiconductor industry. Section 8. ASML, the Dutch giant holding the key to chipmaking. In the world of semiconductors, one company holds a unique and powerful position: ASML, a Dutch multinational corporation. ASML specializes in a technology called photolithography, an essential step in the chip-making process. Think of ASML as the master toolmaker for the semiconductor industry. Their machines, which can cost hundreds of millions of dollars each, use extremely ultraviolet light to etch incredibly small patterns onto silicon wafers, creating the transistors that power our electronic devices. ASML has a virtual monopoly on the most advanced EUV lithography machines, making them a critical link in the global semiconductor supply chain. Their technology is so sophisticated and strategically important that it has become subject to export controls and geopolitical maneuvering. The fact that a single company in the Netherlands wields such influence over the future of chip-making highlights the complex interdependencies of the global technology industry. It also underscores the strategic importance of controlling the tools and technologies that underpin our technological progress. Section 9. Stay curious with King James TV. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me on this journey into the world of semiconductors. We've explored how these tiny chips power our lives, the geopolitical battles over their production, and the companies and countries shaping the future of technology. If you found this fascinating, Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to King James TV for more insightful content just like this. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. We're diving deep into the most important and intriguing topics of our time, from science and technology to history and culture. Keep those questions coming, and let's explore the universe together.